Let us welcome in studio
Dr. Reuben Kigame.
Mambo vipi mzae?
Niko poa.
Uko fresh?
Karibu sana kwa studio yetu leo.
Unakaa poa. Ikiwa angalia kutoka hapa unakaa poa.
Uko sure umetucheki?
Uweze to smile jo.
Umetoka LD?
Kwani
This morning.
Sio this morning. Mbona unataka kujua?
Nataka kujua.
Ulitaka nikuletee nini kwani?
Au excuse me nitupa.
Zi.
Nowadays hata simu nipigii.
Sitakupigia simu bwana. Wewe ndio unafaa kuja kunywa mursik.
Yes.
Na
acha mambo mingi.
Acha mambo mingi. Lakini umenikaribisha poa.
Yes.
I mean that's a very very great track.
Yep.
Absolutely. There are two tracks I like from Sauti Sol. This is the second one.
What's the first one?
The first one is Nerea.
Nerea.
Yes. I even wrote about it. I mean, when a musician engages society by addressing the real issues, you know, the social issues, huyo mwanamuziki anaenda mbali. You know, those are the timeless songs. Yeah. When you study, mathematics or you study medicine, I study music and social justice, and I've written 431 pages on it.
431
Yes.
pages on music and social justice.
Yes.
2027 is here with us.
Not yet.
Yeah?
It's just under 2 years away.
And now you're talking about human dignity, justice, and integrity.
Oh my goodness, you've been stalking me.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, these are the issues, by the way, ukiangalia when I ran in 2022, those are the issues that were on the table for me. Kama utakumbuka poa. Because as far back as when we were talking about BBI, BBI was like the NADCO of now, trying to smuggle people into office through what they're calling broad-based stuff. So, ukikumbuka BBI, I came up and said, we don't need BBI. We need VBI. Value Building Initiative. Kwa sababu kile tumepoteza Kenya ni values. And I cannot undersay that. Kwamba the real nerve is tumepoteza what it means to live by character, by example, and to think of utu, the human dignity that bro anaongelea hapa. That when I see you, I don't see what you have. I see you as, made in the image of God, my brother, When I see a woman, I'm not looking at what I can get from behind the skirt. I'm looking at her as my mother, my daughter, So hizi values ndio tumepoteza, so that people go into office as a privilege to loot. Unaona? Kujitajirisha na kuingiza, So we go into office to do all the wrong things. And I'm saying that we need to reboot. We need to reset. In fact, I sort of patented that reset thing. I know I see people using it all over the place.
Yeah.
But in 2021, I patented it as mine.
Okay.
Because that's what we need. Kenya does not need like to panel beat TV, We need to completely start a new way of doing Kenya. Kuna what I call my philosophy tuseme.
Right.
Alafu kuna zile commitments ambazo nafanya na Kenyans. So upande wa philosophy, what drives me, my thinking, the way I look at Kenya and the people of Kenya, ni utu, haki, na maadili. Human dignity, justice, and values or character. Those are the things. Vile Moi ilikuanga nini? Peace, love and unity. Yangu ni utu, haki, na maadili. If you get those three right, this country will reboot. Now, in terms of commitments, zile ambazo Wakenya wanaweza ni judge nazo, in terms of what I want to do for Kenya, what you can measure me against other people, there are three things. One, bomoa ufisadi. 2, tekeleza katiba. 3, jenga Mkenya. So on the issue of bomoa ufisadi, maybe in English I would say dismantle
Corruption.
Yeah, dismantle it. You know, because it's our headache. So you don't panel beat it. Bomoa, go at it with hammers, you know, and make sure you deal havoc on ufisadi. Then 2, implement the constitution, because we pay lip service, we even swear by it, nasema we'll fulfill it, but we don't. In fact, we're just about to celebrate the commemoration, the promulgation of the constitution about 27th August. So utaona a lot of ceremonies, you'll see people pay homage to the constitution. Then after that, you know, and it's Kenya has not even fully implemented that constitution. So we're saying for us to actually reboot the constitution, which guarantees now, you know, the Bill of Rights, all these things the young people are fighting for. If you implement it, you'll not have the young people on the streets.
No.
But if you look at the current government, for example, you realize that they are on rampage to violate the constitution. Constitution ikisema hivi, wanataka do the exact opposite. So we are saying that's not the way to do government. And then I'm saying to jenga Mkenya, that is empower the individual citizen. You don't go at development by saying, we need this project, we need this, you know, Nairobi needs that, Turkana needs that. You look at what do the people need. So, kwa mfano hapa, expressway would never have been my priority, because there are more people walking than those who are driving. So you would have to deal with the public space issues. You don't go destroying, you know, building all these high-rise buildings all over the place, and you're not looking at the amenities. You're not looking at the sewer system, the water supply, you know, lighting, pollution, things like that. That's why for me, the 3 commitments, ni hizo. So bomoa ufisadi, you know,
tekeleza katiba na ujenge Mkenya.
Bas, you're a good student, man.
And I'd like to take you back to bomoa ufisadi. Of course, this coming against the backdrop of what the president said right from last week when he was in Homa Bay County. He accused members of parliament of demanding bribes, and now saying that parliament has been turned into a marketplace for extortion. What's your take on that?
I like what Otiende Amolo said, you know, in response to that accusation. He said, if bribes are making their way into parliament to pass laws or certain, you know, wanataka mambo fulani ipitishwe hivi. So you need to follow hiyo pesa ambayo inapewa wabunge imetoka wapi. You get it? Wabunge, kama wabunge wanahitaji pesa, if they need the money, or to, you know, if they are worth bribing, so who is bribing them? It can't be that they are bribing themselves. Does it?
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Like, where's the source of the
source of the funds? So basically, Otiende Amolo is saying, before you accuse us of being corrupt as MPs, follow the money. Who released the money? So he must be the corrupt guy. And I think it makes sense. But also, there's something else he said. If you're looking at bribing MPs with, let's say, 10 million, and he computed that and said, that would mean we are as cheap as 28,000. So the argument is not so much to bribe or not to bribe. The issue is, does bribery affect MPs only? And then here are MPs that have fallen out that the other day were darlings of the same guy. But we are also not looking at the unexplained expenditure. You know, if for example, State House spending grows in 2024 from just about 400 million and it goes to over 1 billion, you know, in 1 year. And children are at home, you know, they're not going to school. Kenyans are still looking for livelihoods, etc. You want to build a church at State House. You're actually going to give Harambee Stars, 600 million. We are not asking the source of the funds. That is our problem as Kenyans, that we don't follow the money. So when the politicians come and bribe you, give you 500 bob or 200, 150, and from what you know, they are not able to have that kind of money. When somebody comes at a campaign rally and dishes, let's say, 5 million, and you know they don't even make 2 million a month. If we don't ask the source of those funds, we will continue going around in circles. And so we don't ask the source, but we also don't ask about the expenditure. So, for example, if we borrow money from China, the Bomoa Ufisadi issue is like this. You borrow money for a project, and then you realize the project was actually never done. But we don't follow where that money went. You get it? So we just keep saying scandal, NYS scandal, Eurobond scandal. Scandal. I want to be colorblind. I want to be blind to relationships when it comes to graft. It doesn't matter who you are. If you have stolen from the people of Kenya, I'm coming after you.
Well, Dr. Ri, back in 2022, when you ran for president,
yes,
you say the bid was unfairly blocked by political gatekeeping, despite your due compliance with all the constitutional requirements.
Right.
Moving towards 2027, are you confident with the systems in place, IEBC and the likes?
I'm not confident because, once bitten, twice shy. But you go at it with hindsight, you go at it with maybe better preparation to face them, etc. If you're going to challenge the system, sir, the system will challenge you. That's a rule of life. It's not just in 2022 that it happened. You remember on 31st July this year, I went to court, to sue Murkomen, Haji, Amin, and Kanja for the orders to shoot to kill and for killing more than 100 Kenyans. That case is in court for urgent hearing. Okay?
Yeah.
That was 31st July, okay?
Correct.
The next day, the 1st August, KRA comes after me saying I owe them 20 million. I don't even make that kind of money. Okay? So, there is a way, if you touch certain things, they will try and touch you. All right? I sought permission to actually make my public declaration today, the 20th of August, 2025. Okay? On Friday, permission was granted. Okay?
Yes.
Monday, it was cancelled.
Oof.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I am aware that if you're going to face the system and speak truth to power, they will hit at you. So I'm acquainted with the 5 a.m. AI calls. I'm acquainted with threats, audio threats. I'm acquainted with people trying to poison me. I'm acquainted with all that. People think that running for office is a walk in the park. It's a dangerous thing. You could, of course, I've been arrested on the streets for demonstrating. I mean, I have a doctorate. I would just be happy to sit somewhere and teach at a university. When I'm looking for opportunity, when I offer myself to run for office in Kenya, it's not because I'm hungry. It's not because I lack a job. It's because there is a mission. There's something that I see that most Kenyans have refused to see. For example, every day we're losing our sovereignty to foreign powers. We are actually deliberately selling off Kenya piece by piece. And there has to be somebody to say no. As I look at, let me give you some figures here. I hope, follow me closely.
Yeah.
In 2024, I picked up that Kenya spent 656 billion, 656.6 billion on education. Okay? To fund education. That's the highest spender in the budget. Now, you would think if you spent 656.6, then that education would then be either affordable or free. Okay?
Correct.
So we computed using the figures from the Ministry of Education and so on, and realized that we could actually offer free education from kindergarten to undergrad with 298 billion. Did you follow me?
Yeah.
Correct. We're following.
298. So if we spent 656.6 and we could do, even just for argument's sake, 300 billion, what are we pocketing?
356.6.
Yes. Specifically, we were pocketing 358.6. Now, if that is the amount of pilferage, and the education is not free with that amount being spent on education, we have not even got to the point of how we're paying almost 70% of our revenue to debts, because some people pocketed the money. Yeah, that's where I'm completely aware and in agreement with people like Okiom Tata, who have computed maybe a little more closely than I have, the issue of that Kenya's debt is what you call odious debt. Yeah, that Kenyans actually did not spend that money. A few people, hid it or spent it, and one of the fastest ways to bomoa ufisadi is to make these people accountable to return that money.
Well, Dr. Speaking of the likes of Omtata,
Yes.
what are you looking at perhaps at some point to join forces with like-minded political leaders ahead of 2027, or you're doing it alone?
Forming government is not a Kigame affair. Even if I was given government to form today, I would need so many people, to be able to form a team. So it would be a big lie. It would be hallucination for anybody to imagine that they can form government by themselves. I would look at your records and see if you're okay. Kama umeibia mtu mimi sikutaki karibu na mimi. But if you haven't, you might just make it for Minister for Information. I'll come back to that, because the way we appoint people in office in Kenya is strange. So you find a medical doctor in charge of agriculture.
There
Okay?
you go.
You find, someone who's never been in education, in the area of education. So, and I'm saying, in a country with so many experts and so on. But having said that, if we were to form government, we would need everybody on board that is value, that if I was to form a value-based government, we would need everyone that is value-based, who believes in that philosophy. And so I would like to throw the spanner in the works, though, and say, I've been here, okay? I've been in this space since the first time I mentioned it was actually on Royal Media, on Citizen TV, in December of 2018. That's when I mentioned on the JKL show that I intended to run. So I've been in this space for a while. So many times, those who talk to me say, why don't you join Maraga? Why don't you join Umtata? And so joining is not the problem.
What's the problem?
The problem is they always imagine that somebody who's been at it for maybe how many years now? Maybe 7 years? Should now just, sort of drop the ambition and say, let's go. Why can't it be the other way? So personally, I'm saying I don't have to be president. In fact, to be honest with you, if somebody can deliver character-driven leadership, I don't have to run. but are we willing to be selfless enough so that we come to the table as equals, you know, and not convened by, you know, Kigame. We need either, you know, the civil society and or EAK, you know, the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, you know, all these guys come together and do a scorecard, you know, a scorecard that determines who would form the best candidate, who would actually form, you know, the best policy, who is the most, you know, sellable candidate or whatever. Have a scorecard, look at their character, and then call all of us. We can't call, you see, if I call them, it looks like I'm the one who is fronting the, you know, I want to be the one to be, you know, the president. We need an independent body that subjects all of us to the same score, so that unity or is not just about a backroom deal, you know, you are going to be this, you're going to be that. I think Kenyans also need to be given a chance to fully contribute to how, you know, who they want as, especially I would say the leader of the opposition, so to speak. At this point, you know that there are people imposing on us as opposition, you know, what I call Kanu orphans, etc., that have brought us to where we are. You know, people like Gachagua who've been in government before, and they've told us that government is for shareholders. Now they're looking like the liberators of the people. So it's that kind of politics that I can't take. You know, where you hoodwink people, you do stuff today, then tomorrow, like Ruto, you say, you know, unabudu Mungu, you know, and you're lying. You know, you said you'll never abduct people, shoot people, never take them to wherever, bomoa their houses, and then you do the exact opposite and you still say, praise God. Hapana.
Unakata.
Aye, nena lea.
Ni wale niki kwa sababu
your hypocrisy, the level of hypocrisy is too much. And I'm not just talking about Ruto. Even MPs. You go promise your people, you know, things you know you will never fulfill. And you just keep going back and say, you know, the famous one is God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. And that's your mantra, ya upuzi wa, you know, religious jargonizing.
yeah.
Nimechoka na, nimeishiba. So when you see us pushing issues of justice and doing the right thing, the Utu philosophy, Jengam Kenya, it's all this, it's this horizontal axis that there's no way I can get power and begin to mistreat you, and then I say I love God and I love my neighbor. So whether you look at a constitution, whether you look at codes of, you know, whatever, directs nations, all constitutions are just about love, you know, doing the right thing. But the Bill of Rights, you know, whether it's housing, whether you are talking about not segregating, whether you're talking about access to services and so on, it's really about the horizontal axis.
So 12 o'clock declaration.
Yes.
And that's when you'll tell us which party you might be running on.
No. Declaration is just declaration.
Okay.
Everything else follows. And that's why I'm really really not excited about the cancellation, because it's a constitutional right. Okay. Let me ask, in retrospect here, do you remember the 2017 elections? Do you guys remember?
We can try to remember.
Try to remember. So immediately after the 2017 elections,
Correct.
Ruto began to campaign. All right? I mean, you can go back to clips, you can go back. He was in the campaign mode, and his people are going to stop me from a mere declaration?
They should think
Come
again.
come on guys. Kwani wanaogopa nini?
Ndio tunashangaa.
So tujiweke wazi. So with all humility, offering oneself is one thing. It's up to the Kenyan citizens to look at all of us and decide who can actually take the highest decisions in the land on their behalf.